Hello and welcome back to another Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video. Listen, we've done some insane builds on this channel, from Harley being a walking talking grenade, Joker raining fire from above, Lawless just clicking heads, but this may be the best one yet. It's maybe not as flashy or stylish as some of the other builds that we've done, but it's absolutely busted. Deathstroke is easily the most overpowered character in the game, in terms of the sheer amount of builds you can make with him as well. He can carry 7 grenades, you can slice and dice with the sword, you can go crazy applying frenzy, but this build has a little bit of everything. A little bit of traversal, I'm going to give you a choice on a weapon, utilising squad ultimate, and then just having a good old time. And speaking of a good old time, that's what we have on this channel. So, if comic book games are your shit, news, reviews, guides, the full shebang, consider subscribing, I'd love you to stick around. Right, this build is an episode 7 build. That's where it's at its strongest, but to be honest with you, it's just as strong throughout the rest of the game anyway. As you can see by this gameplay, we are dispatching everything with pure ease. Dashing around, grappling around, sniping, popping squad ultimates and traversal attacks, and just decimating destroyers. It's easily the most busted build that I've used in terms of ease and sheer damage. You get close to infinite airtime, it's just absolutely mental. Alright, let me show you this build. So here is the build. In this build, we're going to be utilising different aspects of Gorilla Grodd's Infamy set, including a few of the different tiers, and some of the new Notorious items that have dropped in this episode. You will notice that one aspect of it is actually from a previous season in the Reverse Flash Traversal mod. However, this seems to be dropping during the current season, so you don't need to go back and grind out those episodes. Because Deathstroke is new, it's obviously just going back and reacquainting those traversal mods here. So, in the first slot, you will see that we have a Master 4 Patience sniper rifle going on. Now, this is where you're going to be given the choice that I spoke about at the beginning of the video. Here, you can either have the Patience sniper rifle or this assault rifle here, which is the Master Inertia assault rifle. Basically, any of these two will do absolutely fine. I went with the sniper rifle just because I prefer getting crit shots, but I'll talk a little bit about why this choice matters later on when I get to the actual talent tree. So yeah, in the first slot, we have our Master Patient sniper rifle, and that's going to be our main weapon. In the second slot, we have a Master 5 repeatable phenomenon, which is a shotgun. I'm not too keen on using shotguns, even though this shotgun is a lot of fun in this video game in terms of how it plays. But this is just here for the tier 2 bonus. You will see that we actually have a full 3-piece bonus going on with tier 2. Personally, this is my favourite tier set out of the 3. Basically, piece 1 means that crazing an enemy will trigger concentration. That's going to increase the damage of our next grenade, traversal attack, suicide strike, or melee attack by 1000. And we're going to get 10 uses of concentration. We also see that during this episode, we're going to get 500% more damage to crazed enemies. We can increase our grenade capacity by 2, which is crazy. This means that Deathstroke can carry 7 grenades, which is mental. And the 3-piece bonus in terms of killing enemy will spawn these mindful zones, and when we get that, damage is increased by 2000% for 60 seconds. Mental. Also increases damage reduction by 25%, which is really helpful. In the third slot, we have the only notorious sword that Deathstroke can get, which is the Orphan's Heartseeker. To be honest with you, this just doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what is in this slot. We are not really using our sword or melee here, so this will be good in an actual melee build, but that's not what we have here, so this is kind of redundant here. In the grenade slot, we have the Corrupted Mad Hatter's Exploding Hat. This thing is mental. As soon as this thing throws, it's just a direct hit, like it goes like a sniper bullet does, just in a straight line from wherever you throw it. And it just does insane damage. What it does is that any enemy hit by this grenade gets an exploding hat put on them. This explodes after 3 seconds, and they will gain a random affliction or status effect, which is mental, but just from a damage output and the fact that we can throw 7 of these, it's mental. The Corrupted set, as always, can be obtained by defeating Brainiac in the Mayhem mission. Into the shield mod, we've got a Master 5 here, but this is all just about that tier 2 set bonus. Again, I spoke about that at the front, so I'm not going to talk too much about that anymore. The obvious other part is that afflicted enemies within 10 meters of you take 100% more damage from melee hits, which would be great again on a melee build, but it doesn't really matter in terms of this one. Into the traversal mod, we have Master Reverse Flash's Harmonic Vibration. This shit is insane for this sniper build. Each enemy hit by your traversal attack will increase your critical hit damage by 50% for 45 seconds. You hit 10 enemies with your traversal attack, bang, you are getting 500% increased damage for your crit hit damage for 45 seconds. And in this sniper build, where we're going to do some insane crit hit stuff, and how that ties into the talent tree, which I'll show in a minute, it is mental. Into the next bomb mod, this one, you can take it or leave it. Killing enemies adds a stack of mental stability, which will increase damage by 50% up to 1,250. Reaching 25 stacks will remove all stacks, but craze all enemies within 25 meters of you. And again, craze is just really good for Deathstroke in general, and he's got some insane craze potential here if you wanted to go for a more craze build. And then in the final slot, we have our final tier 2 piece, which again, speaks for itself. That's why that's there, it's just to get that 3-piece bonus. Into the talent tree then, and this is where things get crazy. So the ones that you need to really know about is needs more pouches, which increases your firearm capacity and your grenade ammo capacity by 2. This is the insane one. At 10 combo or higher, critical hits with sniper rifles spread 35% of that damage that you deal to enemies within 20 meters. Meaning, when you headshot basically one grunt, you kill all of them in the vicinity of it. It is mental with the amount of crit hit damage that we do here, how this works. This then ties into the next one, where crit hit damage is increased by 50% and critical kills instantly reload your firearm. So this goes in 2 ways, because during our squad ultimate, we're going to have it so that you have unlimited ammo. You can just fire that thing without ever reloading. But even when we're out of that, because we're so focused on critical kills, we are just instantly never having to reload. Never. It's amazing. Another decent one, on-site procurement, shield harvest spawns firearm ammo and grenade ammo. Biowarfare, because we have the ability to spread a lot of craze, this is good because obviously killing enemies with critical kills will spread that affliction to enemies 10 meters around them too. Package delivered, at 30 combo or higher, successful counters will spawn a live grenade, which is mental because that will essentially just kill off snipers before you even have to worry about them. Now this one is also mental. At 40 combo or higher, increases firearm damage by 150%, but causes firearms to deal damage through enemy shields and vehicle armor, which is, if you think about those metal or armored destroyers, you just blast through them. You don't even have to worry about unloading melee on them or a traversal attack or a grenade. You just shoot straight through them. Deathstroke is busted, mate. In terms of other really important ones, there's not too much on Sword for Hire. So in Descent, which gives the ability to craze enemies. This bit down here, if crit hits generate 1% suicide strike resource, that's helpful for if you get in a sticky situation. Unnatural resistance, in terms of increasing the damage reduction, that's always helpful. And the final one, which is this, that at 50 or higher increases shield capacity by 100% and shield harvest chance by 50%, which is really helpful for obviously survivability. Keeping with the whole crit hit thing, Vantage Point on tier 3, critical hit chance is increased by 50% while airborne. We're always going to be airborne, so this is massive. Aerial reconnaissance, again same thing, more time spent airborne, more damage that we're doing. Air power, airborne kills generate 10% traversal attack resource, and we're always airborne. That traversal attack, again, it loops back round, so we're always getting that extra critical damage, so this is really good. Air to surface, again, shield harvest chances increased by 50% while airborne, so again, that speaks for itself. And then finally, Ultimate Soldier. This shit is busted, man. Firearm damage is increased by 100% during the squad ultimate, but firearms have infinite ammo and kills spawn grenade ammo. I mean, you cannot do any better than this. You're basically having infinite grenades, infinite ammo, critical hits all over the show, and yeah, it speaks for itself. This build is absolutely busted. And then very quickly, onto the talent tree. The ones that I'll be focused on is grenade damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, squad ultimate duration, squad ultimate resource generation, and then just invest again in crit hit damage and ultimate duration. And this thing, I mean, during one squad ultimate, you can do an entire incursion without even having to worry about enemies hitting you. It is just mental. Just the only thing that you have to watch out for is snipers, and then obviously when the brutes go boom when they're about to die. So those are literally the only 2 threats to you during this build. It is mental. Alright, let me show you the build in motion, and I'll walk you through how to get the most out of it while some gameplay is on the background to showcase that. Back to the gameplay. So how about the build in motion? To start off, it doesn't matter if it's grunt-based incursion, the Brainiac fight, or taking on brutes. We're going to just want to pop our ultimate as soon as we enter combat. Then, we're going to want to find the largest group of enemies to grapple over to and pop our traversal attack. Now, we've got infinite ammo, and we're at our most damaging in terms of critical hits. This is where, personally, I prefer the sniper to the assault rifle, as it's a lot easier to land the critical hits. As you can see, one critical hit is wiping out entire squads of Brainiac's foes. And all this too, by the way, if you look closely, you'll see the sheer amount of grenades that we are spawning as a result of being in our squad ultimate and getting these kills. So even if things ever got dicey after the squad ultimate expired or something like that, you could just chuck a load of these about and maybe even apply the frenzy affliction to them so that they stop attacking you for a bit on those higher mastery levels. But the basics of the build really are pop squad ultimate, pop traversal attack, rain fire with sniper and grenades, and genuinely, some incursions are beat within one usage of squad ultimate. It really is that insane and easy. But yeah, that's the basics of the build, and you can just see how damaging it really is. So yeah, let me know how you get on with this build. Depending on the gear in the 8th and final episode, I may have one more build in me, but otherwise, I can't think of a more lethal build to round all of this out with. Anyway, if you've made a build, talk to me about it. Let me know if this build helps you out or how much fun you're having with Deathstroke in general. Regardless, if the build did help, you can help me by dropping a like on the video. And, as I said at the top, if comic book games are your jam, news, reviews, guides, the full shebang, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. If you have any further questions for me, then you can find all my socials linked down below. Otherwise, I hope you have a terrific day, play games, get gains, and I'll catch you in the next one.